When I was growing up, I always found the martial arts to be intriguing. It's the kind of thing that if I had a second chance in my childhood, I'd give it a shot. My friend Nick is a 4th degree black belt in Tae-Kown-Do.
I started the art when I was 6 years old. My 2 older brothers started originally, and then I picked it up. They've since quit, but I've stuck with it. So it's been about 16 years now that I've been training pretty much non-stop since that day. I've mostly taken maximum 3 weeks off or so. My training started in Danville with my current instructor still, Master Douglas Eaton. He opened up his school back in '85 and I picked it up in '94.
The first time I went with Nick to his class, I remember being incredibly nervous. I didn't know the people nor the art. In the beginning it was just people warming up on their own. But when class began, suddenly things changed, and everyone became way more focused. Students line up in the studio preparing for the day's training. Those who have achieved the master rank stand in front, and everyone listens quietly to the wisdom of the school's owner and highest master, Fred Dustolfo.
Stepping back, left front stance, double down block, ready. Hit! Front stop kick, double punch, moving forward.
All right. Like most martial arts, rank is a significant part of your training. It allows the instructor and other people in the class to know where you are at physically, ability-wise, and knowledge of the art in general. In Tae-Kown-Do, we have quite a few different ranks. It starts with white belt, orange, yellow, green, blue, red, black. Our main solid color belts and an intermediate ranking between each of those. Once you get to the black belt, you will have to go for your black belt testing, which is quite a vigorous test of knowledge, ability, and mental awareness to become this rank. Once you reach black belt, there are 9 degrees of black belt. I currently am a 4th dan. I received my black belt when I was 11 years old, and I've been training non-stop ever since. And this past October in 2010, I was awarded by my instructor my 4th degree black belt. All right, just to explain my belt here, this is all in Korean because Taekwondo is a Korean martial art. These first 3 symbols are Chimukwan, which means true martial art home. The second 3 symbols are Taekwondo, which means foot hand art. And this is Federation. This is my Chimukwan Taekwondo Federation, in which is the organization that I'm a part of and I have been ranked through. On the other side of my belt, I here have my name and my rank. Nicholas Thomas Hepburn right here, and my 4 bars represent my rank as a 4th degree. And as a master rank, you get all of your embroidery in red. First through third degree, you get it in yellow, and once you reach 4th dan and above, you are given it in red. It's one of the most individualistic things you will do in your life is the martial arts. It's an active form of self-emotion. You don't have any routine to achieve whatever goals you have in the martial arts. It's completely and solely dependent on you. Your instructor will guide you, but you have to show the determination for him to want to lead you. It's very much about respect and effort. If you're putting forth that effort and you're showing that you have this determination and perseverance and indomitable spirit that you want this, then he will do absolutely everything he can to guide you in that form.
I quickly learned that long-term students will find a way to provide in some way back to their school. Nick did so by continuing to pass down all he had learned to beginner students.
So I began teaching back when I was quite young, a little bit before I got my black belt, and I've been teaching straight up through. When you start teaching, you have to understand absolutely everything that you're teaching your student. You have to understand it 10 times in 10 different ways so you can give them the best possible scenario, because no one learns the same, especially in a physical art as Taekwondo. I've actually learned more teaching students than being in a class myself. Weight 60-40, front to back. Keep that hip height, shift to a back stance. Again, feet at a 90-degree angle, front leg 30, back leg 70. Don't turn this hand, keep that wrist straight. Straight wrist. Straight wrist is a strong wrist. Bent elbow is a strong elbow. Good, try and keep those hands right in front of you. Boom. And down. And down. That's better, good. Turn those hips forward. You're kind of keeping your hips back here. Turn them all the way forward. Forward every time. Boom. Snap them. Switch your stance. There you go. And when you get to that point where you have a student that you've been teaching for a couple months, a couple years, and you see that progression level, it is one of the most rewarding things for me. The confidence and the maturity that is developed in that time span is absolutely remarkable.
The first time I ever watched Nick practice, I saw him in the middle of performing moves that I thought were simply elegant and fascinating.
Throughout Taekwondo, there are quite a few aspects of it. One of my favorites and what really brings out my passion are called forms, or yeong in Korean. It's basically a pattern that's named after a person, place, or event in ancient Korean history. And this is what makes it more than just a sport. It's something that has actual history, and you can really envelop yourself into this one form, thinking of who these people were and what they did fighting for their country. One of the forms, the upper forms for the 4th degree level, is a form called Yusin. It was named after a general in the Silla dynasty. 68 moves of the 68 techniques of this form refer to the year 668 AD, the year that Korea was unified. The Chunbi position, or the starting point of this form, symbolizes the sword being drawn on the left side rather than the right, due to the king's mistake of following, or the general's mistake of following the king's orders to fight against his own nation. If anyone out there is considering joining the martial arts, it really doesn't matter what style. If you have a decent instructor who's passionate about what they do, you'll learn so much about them, the art, and mostly yourself. As individualistic as this art may be, the camaraderie of it is undeniably amazing. Age, gender, social status, nothing matters when you're in the dojang or the school. You can become from one of the lowest income areas or one of the highest income areas, but when you're there, you're all wearing the same thing. You all have that belt around your waist and the white uniform or black uniform on. And I've taught some of the most amazing kids in the world, and they are my favorite. But also when you get to the adults, they have the mental capacity and understanding to really know what's going on. And the history behind the art actually has brought some of my students to tears, thinking about what people have gone through to be able to bring us this art. And I look forward to every single evening that I know I can go in and take a class. I take my class and then I teach the second class. And in that time frame, I don't even think about it anymore. I don't have to think about releasing everything else. I don't have to think about de-stressing. The only thing that I can focus on mentally is Taekwondo and what I'm doing in that instant.
So what could a spectator like myself take away from all this? This art teaches lessons for life, such as what really matters is how much effort you put into the things you do. It's nice to be in a place where everyone is truly equal. that even the best teacher will always remain a student. And that finding beauty in something others may not see is incredibly rewarding.